Hi, this is Tanya from Love Buddha Tarot, back with the cards for the 27th of June 2017. Right, I just want to say before I start that this week I only have emergency readings left. I'm literally fully booked. So if anybody would like an emergency reading, then please email me. You can't book that through my booking system. Email me to see what availability I have. I do keep a couple of appointments every day for emergencies, but apart from that, this week is fully booked. Next week there is still some availability for that. It is going quickly, and I think next week is the last week before I go on holiday. So just to let you know, if anybody is wanting a reading, then next week try and book it, because when I'm away I won't be doing any readings. Okay, so sorry, I just had to say that straight away, because I've sort of woke up and people saying, well, I can't get booked, is there something wrong with your website? It's like, no, it's because I'm fully booked. Okay, so how is it where you are today? It's raining here. It's been beautiful, the weather, but it's raining, but it's lovely. I love the rain. It's a pleurophile, isn't it? A pleurophile that is a lover of rain, I think. But yeah, there's a calmness. There's a calmness comes with the rain, and I think it's I don't know, there's a really nice energy around at the moment. And like I say, there's a calm and a clarity, I feel. Okay, so the cards today, I'm going to get straight on with them. And we have the Morgan Greer deck again as well. I really love this deck. It's got a very 70s feel, I think, and the card that we have today is the Seven of Cups. Now, it's quite an interesting card, this. I never used to like it. I didn't get this card when I first started reading tarot, but the more I look at it, the more I see it as a positive card. A lot of people see it as quite a negative card. I actually like it. I feel that it's a positive card, because what this card, I feel, is saying is that you don't have to settle. You can have it all. So this card is telling you that there's a lot of abundance actually around you. You just need to open your eyes and see it. And it tells you to look beneath the surface. The key word I always get with this card is all that glitters is not gold. So what this card is saying is look beyond the surface glitter at what you actually have and what you have accumulated within your life. And what this question does, it always talks about illusions, okay? So it's quite a deep one. It is quite a deep card, this. And what this card is telling you to do is look at what you've got, look at what you've acquired, okay? Look at your life even and say, does it really suit you? Is it what you really want? Or are you just sort of fitting into a role of society or someone else's success? So this card is saying if you look deep within yourself, and really look deep at, you can find out a lot about yourself as well. Because within these cups, it's like there are hopes and fears here. Okay, so it's got the both. So it's like, right, okay, and this is what life is. We have our hopes and we have our fears. And a lot of times our fears are what gets in the way of us being able to fulfill our hopes and dreams. So this card, really, I see it as it's a getting to know you. Getting to know the real you, looking in your life at what is real and what is illusion, okay? Now, what I love about this deck specifically as well is that we have the mask there, okay? And this is talking about the public image that you put out, and it's sort of, what is the story that you tell the world, that could not be your story. Now this is quite funny because on these I do tend to put a lot of, if I'm having a meltdown or anything like that, I do tend to tell you. And the reason I do this, it's not because I want to talk about my meltdown, it's because I get messages of people, which I massively value, saying, like, oh, you're wise, you're this, you're that, you're helping me with my life. A lot of times my life isn't all rosy, it's like, I don't want to be put on a pedestal. I don't want people to think that, oh yeah, just because I have a smile on my face, everything is great. The thing is, I've learned to smile through the tears, and I know that everything that happens is for me in some way, even if it's painful or even if it's confusing. So the acceptance allows you to to navigate through things better, okay? But it's like I say, I haven't got it all sussed, I still have exactly the same ups and downs as other people, and I will never ever pretend that I don't, because that is not real, okay? And this is what this card is saying. It's saying, like, look at the story that you are telling the world. Look at what mask you are wearing as well, because what happens within life is we want to belong, okay? We want to feel love. This is a natural human trait. So what we can often do is we can try to change ourselves to fit somebody else's ideal or society's ideal, so that we get this recognition, we get this love, and we get this sense of belonging. Sorry, but all this does is this actually causes us more stress, because we know then that we are living a lie, even if we're not wanting to accept it or tell ourselves the truth. Our soul knows, and our soul knows that this isn't us. So this is when we get this discord, and when we are living a life that is not what we really want, or not that what we really need, or not what we really will, like, help us grow, or encourage us and make us be the best person that we can be, then we have this inner discord all the time, and we need to put this mask on, and sometimes even when we're looking in the mirror, we need to wear this mask, because looking in the mirror can be often more painful than actually, telling the story to somebody else, And what happens is we try to change aspects of us. And these are a big part of us. And this is what creates inner conflict with us as well, when we're trying to be somebody we're not, when we're trying to be happy with things that really don't make us happy, And what happens here is, it's like we try to hide our differences, or we try to hide our uniqueness. Now, every single one of us is unique, I was talking to my friends the other day, and something was said about being a weirdo, and they were like, yeah, but you're our weirdo, and that's great. They accept it. And not a lot of my friends are spiritual like this, and they're just like, all right, okay, Tanya's off on one. But they accept that as me. For many, many years, I didn't talk about this side of my life, I tried to pretend that I didn't get it. I tried to fit in, and go to different pubs and do things that everybody else was doing, because I wanted this feeling of belonging, and that it made me actually quite sick. It made me sick in a physical sense, but it also made me sick in a head sense, My head wasn't in a good place, because I was trying to fit in, and it was like a square peg in a round hole. I wasn't ever going to fit in. But the second I realized that I was never meant to fit in, and I was born to stand out, that was like, bam, that's it. I can be me, and I can be Tanya. And this is, and stepping into your authenticity is liberating. It's fantastic. Your soul is clapping, the universe is throwing streamers and everything, because this is what we were born to do, and this is who we were born to be. We weren't meant to fit in. We're all different. And that is the beauty about the human race. That we're not all the same. We all have our own quirks. And, when you're around people where you can be fully you, it is such a wonderful, amazing feeling, but a lot of times we want, we are scared of judgment, or we are scared of rejection, or something like that. There's a great poem called When I'm Old and I Will Wear Purple, and it's all about what this person is saying when they're old, and I'll do this, and I'll swear, and I'll spit in the street, and I'll do all of this. But why wait until you're old to do it? Your life is the sort of process of getting old. Do it now, and there's nothing more amazing than seeing somebody who embraces their individuality. Some people look at them like, oh God, look at that weirdo. I look at them and I think, you know what? I want to know that person. Who are they? They're amazing, So this is it. And it's, we don't want to be rejected, but the thing is, we are rejecting ourselves when we are wearing wearing this mask, you know? So when you spend your whole life trying to fit in, you never really get to know who you really are. And it's exhausting and it makes you unhappy, you know? So when you start to embrace yourself and step into your authenticity and let these illusions fall away and stand and be true and see things how they truly are, see what is really real and see what is just a made up fantasy, what happens is the fear stops because you are no longer scared of being judged or rejection because you are embracing you. So if somebody rejects you, that just shows you that they're not on the same vibe as you. They're not sort of, riding the same groove. So it liberates you from that. What also happens is the people that you then come into contact with when you start vibrating on this level, they're on the same vibration of you. So your relationships of all kinds become more connected. There's a deeper connection. There's a sense of, you know what, I see you. I see you for who you are, not who you tell me you are. And that is such a beautiful feeling, to feel that sense of belonging, rather than a false sense of security or a false sense of belonging. When you step into your authenticity as well, and when you are your real you treat yourself better because you know you deserve love and respect. And you're proud of yourself. If you are constantly lying to yourself, how can you trust yourself? And inside you know that. So you feel a little bit of shame in thinking, I'm actually selling myself short here. So you can't look yourself in the eye. When you embrace your authenticity, it's like, hiya, I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you to come along. Your passions come to the surface as well, and because you appreciate yourself, you know that you deserve to have this happiness and you deserve to do whatever it is you want to do. So you embrace your uniqueness and all of your quirks, and what you realize is that things that you were told were weaknesses, that in the past you've been told they were your weaknesses and you believe that, you realize that they are your strengths. I have a ridiculous laugh, okay, and it's loud, and it's, wherever I go, if I end up laughing, you see people turning around. And for years I stifled that because I was told off people, that's stupid, you're embarrassing yourself, don't laugh like that. You know what? How can I be embarrassing myself when I'm laughing? My laugh is loud, but that is because it comes from my soul, it comes from my boots. And now I laugh and I joke and I, wherever I am, and I'm not ashamed of that. Being sensitive, yes, I'm sensitive. I'm an empath and I've embraced that. But for many years, I was told that I was too sensitive. I was too soft. I had to man up. I had to stop being so soft, stop being so daft, And I was talking to my auntie the other day about it, and she sent me an article on an empath. She'd been on a course about it. And I said, now do you understand me? All of these years you've told me I was wrong. And now do you get it? And she was like, well, yes, I do. And it was a very it was really, really strange. But this is it. This is you. And if you are feeling these feelings and if you want to do this, then who is anybody else to stop you? So this is why I love this card. It's a wonderful, wonderful card. And what happens when you step into your realness and see through the illusion? This is when possibilities and opportunities present themselves to you. You just need to narrow down what it is you truly want. Okay? It's like, when there's too much around you, too many distractions, you can't hear your soul think. You don't know what you want. So narrow it down and see what it is you want. See how you feel when you think about something that you truly want. My daughter, in the last couple of weeks, I got a message from my daughter saying, I'm leaving uni, I'm packing in, I'm moving back home. And I was like, what? Completely out of the blue. She was hungover, she'd been away. I just thought, oh, she's on a crazy come down. And she wasn't prepared to talk to me about it, which that was the problem, the fact that she didn't come to me about it where she always has in the past. So anyway, we didn't speak, and it was very painful, I think, for both of us. So in the end, I just said, look, I love you and I will be there for you, whatever. I think you need to think this through more, but, this is it. She came back to me and she said, you know, Mum, all you've ever done is told me that my happiness is what is important, you know? And I was like, right, okay. And what I realized was my fear had got in the way of her leaving university. I thought she was settled. I'm going off to live my own life, but I thought she was settled where she was. Then I thought, right, what am I going to do? Where's she going to live? What's she going to do? All of this. So I went into a fear, okay? The second she said that, this is what you've taught me, Mum. I was like, right, okay. And my fear turned to proudness. And, you know, for somebody so young to actually make that big decision herself, she sorted everything out herself. I said, you sorted, you know, you're on your own with this, you know, I'm here for you, but you got yourself in this mess, you get yourself out. She's transferred, she's back up here, she's happier, she's great. But she said, that was what you've taught me to do, you know. So, you know, I had a big lesson in that, and I realized, yeah, you know, this is, you know, I hadn't created a monster. I'd created somebody who was very brave and who had decided, you know, the second she became unhappy, that she was not going to stay in that situation. So, like I say, my heart swells with pride with it now, rather than this horrible fear that I felt at the beginning, you know. So this is what happens, you know. She was authentic, you know, and this is what this is telling you to do. So it's saying, you know, there's a lot of, when the sevens come in, the sevens are always tests and the sevens are always challenges, you know, and this card is telling you to, like, check into how you feel, okay, rather than let anything or anyone influence the decisions of your life, you know. So this card is talking about some deep soul work, you know, deep. We've got to dig deep here, you know. Look at the problems in your life. Look at where you are unhappy. Look at what is not working for you and stare it straight in the face. Be ready to confront it. Be ready to tell yourself the whole truth and nothing but the truth here, you know. And once you do that, you will find the answers just spring straight away to you, you know. Identify falseness within your life. Identify superficialness. What is just sugar-coated? You know, that's it, because, you know, that sugar's not good. You know, it might look good on the outside, but when you go right into that core, you know, you might be just sugar and dog shit, if that makes sense, you know. So this is it. Look at the ideas and the plans that you have for your future. Are they what you really want, or are they what you feel you should be doing? Okay, because I have a thing, when anybody tells me I should, I usually say no, I shouldn't. You know, it's straight away, it's like this sort of rebel within me. But this card is telling you it's not shoulds, it's not woulds, it's not couldas, it's cans. That's it. No shoulda, woulda, coulda. This is cans and wills. Okay, so this is what it's doing, and it's telling you it's time to make your mind up, you know, and it's your mind. Okay, this is what it's saying, your mind. So, I love that card. I really like that, you know. And like I say, a lot of people don't like the Seven of Cups, but that is the way I see it, and that is the way why I really like it. So this card is letting go. Now, what is interesting, I've just noticed this. This is the Seven of Cups, okay? So this is about doing the soul work to find out what you really want. When we move on in tarot, because on the Fool's Journey, he always progresses. So when we move on, we get to the Eight of Cups, and this card is actually the Eight of Cups. I didn't realize this when we pulled it. It's the equivalent of the Eight of Cups in the Osho deck. And what the Eight of Cups is it's realizing that you are not fully fulfilled, and it's turning your back on your past and going in search of, sometimes some say, the Holy Grail. You might not even know what it is that's going to make you happy, but you know that you owe it to yourself to actually go in search of this fulfillment. And this comes from doing the work that comes within the Seven of Cups. So then we get on to the Eight of Cups, and this is about letting go. And what this card is saying is that this is realizing when something is finished, realizing when something is completing. You know, this could be a job, it could be a relationship, it could be where you're living, it could be something that you've loved. You know, anything that has shaped you and defined who you are, it's time to let go of it now, you know, and it's trying not to hold on to any sadness with it, you know. This card is saying that there's something greater waiting for you, you know. There's new things to be discovered. There's a new you to be discovered as well. you know. And what it's saying is, if you've gone past the point of no return now, there's no stopping it. Like graffiti, right? Okay, gravity. This is. I don't know if any of you know. I have a tumor in my brain. It's benign, it's not cancerous, but it can occasionally affect my speech, and it's been playing up a little bit over the last couple of days, and I tend to say the wrong words sometimes. Sometimes Spirit give them to me. I don't think that was Spirit there, but occasionally I say the wrong things. It's a bit like, you know, when you type into Google and it guesses what you're going to say beforehand. That's what sort of happens in my brain quite a lot. So this is like the gravity, not the graffiti. Or maybe have a look at graffiti today. Be on the lookout for graffiti. There may be such a poignant little message in graffiti today. Okay, so look out for that. I'm going to as well, and just see what comes up, you know. So it's like you've passed the point of no return, you know, like gravity with this droplet. It cannot go back now. It cannot go back. So you're in that. This is about being in that in between, and then this is about the moving on, you know. So it's saying, like, this is just go with it, you know. This is a card of liberation. Don't see this letting go as a sadness. See this as, you know, you are taking one more step towards your freedom, you know. And like I say, this droplet here is surrendering, you know. And in surrendering, it is actually losing its identity, because it no longer becomes this drop. It actually goes into the ocean, you know. So it changes form and it changes shape, and it merges with other things. And this is what happens when you embrace your authenticity, you know, and you step into the real you, you know. And yes, you're going into the unknown, you know, and you're letting go of the known. But this is like, don't see this as a loss, you know. It's not a loss, because you will gain from it as well. And when we do let something go, you know, we have changed, and, you know, we will never be what we once were. This is it. We all evolve, you know, and especially in relationships, some of it evolve at different rates, you know. And I mean, I know, God, some of the guys I've dated, when I look back now, I think, God, if I met them now, I would never go anywhere near them. But at the time, they were what I wanted, you know. And it's just that we've grown at different rates and grown apart, you know. So this is what they're saying your life is not over just because you let something go. Your life is starting to begin. And every time you let something go, you are actually stepping more into your authentic self, and you are sort of learning how to be you even more as well, you know. So like I say, we never let something go without actually growing, you know, and becoming stronger through this experience as well. And we may see this as a setback, but what this is this is just opening a gate for us to venture through, and for us to find ourselves as well. And like I say, when you do find yourself, it is such an amazing feeling, you know. So this is saying something needs to go. You need to leave something behind in order to make way for better that's to come. And, you know, there might be a little pain with this, but, you know, that pain will lessen in time. And it's saying, you know, be brave, you know, find the courage. Like I say, my daughter, I'm very, very proud, because she was brave, you know. I was the ball ache to her, you know, for a while. But it's like I say, I was the one that had the fear. Was the one that had the bravery, you know. It's amazing. And that, you know, at the age of 20-year-old, you know, she will continue to do that, you know. So it's, like I say, I'm proud with that. And this is what this is saying. Have the courage to do that, you know, and realize that everything has a shelf life. If we hang on to something that is no longer what it was, you know, and no longer fresh and sweet, you know, if you think of a piece of fruit and you know, it's beautiful and you get it, and then if you don't eat it, it stays in the fridge and it starts to go to mush and it starts to rot and it starts to stink. And this is what can happen if we stay around where the shelf life has gone, where we have outgrown it, but we still cling on to it because it's what we know, you know. So this is saying the past is called the past for a reason. It's gone. You know, we can't get it back. We can't live a life in the now based on nostalgia and based on a decision that we made, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. We can't do that. It's not good for us. We all have life in us yet. And this card is saying you need to let something go in order to embrace that. So I love that card. I love the cards today. Have you seen how these are much simpler? They're much more simple than the Apocalypse, aren't they? And the Colette Baron Reid card I pulled is TikTok. So this is saying the time is now, time is running out. And, we are all, time is a funny thing, isn't it? We govern our lives by time. I haven't even got a clock in the house. I never know the time, and I'm very, very rarely late, But it's like, so many people are governed by time. And it's like, right, okay, I'll do this in a year. I'll do this in 2 years. My goal in 5 years' time is to do blah, blah, blah. Do it now, Do it now. Like I've said, don't wait until you're old to fully embrace life, because by then your body won't be working in the way that you want it to, you will be slowed down slightly by your body. So do it now, embrace life this very, very moment. And if we have a look, there's a hot air balloon as well there. And this is like, take time out of it, Take time out of it. Do not be governed by time. And like I say, your time, our clock, we all have an internal clock that is tick, tick, ticking every single day. And none of us know when that's going to stop, Like I say, my mother was killed when she was 61, and she had so many plans of what she was going to do. And it was one day when I do this, someday when I do that, I'm going to save them fantastic shoes for in a year's time when I go to this do or whatever, and I had to throw them all out and they'd never been used. Her life was gone. Her clock stopped ticking like that. And she had so much that she had been saving up to do one day or someday. That's never going to come. It's today. Today is all we have at the moment, and then tomorrow will all we have then. So don't put things off neither, I was talking to Spirit the other day about time as well. And, it's like I say, we are governed by it, but time in spirit is very different. A lot of people will say to me when they have a reading, can you tell me when? When is this person going to phone? When are they going to come back? When are they whatever? And it's like with divine timing, everything happens at the right time. Spirit they have a bigger plan, and time in there is not the 24-hour clock like what we have. I don't know if any of you have ever took psychedelics or anything like that. Sometimes I think that is the nearest that you can get to sort of connecting with spirit to explain it to somebody. And if you think with that, or a dream, when you're in a dream-like state, dreams only last seconds, but we can feel that they're going on all night. So we don't know the difference between, say, 15 seconds and 15 minutes. We don't know. But that is because that is how time is in the spirit world. And everything happens with divine timing. And this is saying, whatever is happening in your life now that is making you address what is going on with your life and making you see, is this real? Am I living an illusion? Or, what is real? Who am I? All of this that is happening to you now is coming because the time is right now. We are in amazing times. We are very, very lucky to be alive in these times as well. There's a lot of devastation going on, but there's a huge awakening going on as well, and we are the ones, us that have embraced this spiritual path, us that have been forced on it, us that have been dragged kicking and screaming onto this path of awakening, to bring love and light into the world. What we are doing is we are paving the way for the next generation. We are clearing the path for them. We're doing the hard work because the next generation that are coming up, they're so switched on and tuned in straight away, and that is, we have to get things ready for them. So we have to, I'm getting the song there, what is it? Crosby, Stills and Nash, teach your children well. This is it, So whatever we're doing, if we're staying and wearing a mask, the younger generation will look up to us and go, that is what we need to do. I need to stop, all of these amazing, creative, fabulous feelings that I have, because this is what the older people do. And I want to be accepted and I want to be loved. There's a great woman, the Barefoot Five, she's called, on Facebook and on Instagram, and she brings her children up. It's massively admirable, to see them, and these children are, they're individuals in their own right, and that is beautiful. And like I say, this is what it's saying. So look, are your actions teaching the next generation, that they can go out and have everything that they want in their life? Or are they teaching them that you settle and you stay in the box because that's what's accepted and that's how it's always been done? So, like I say, quite heavy cards. I'm going to pull one of the Gaia spirit cards here before. Whoa, that one is jumping about. Right, okay. I didn't even start shuffling. That one was just jumping. Did you see it? And this is saying hidden path. Okay, what a fabulous, fabulous card this. So I'm going to see what this one says. I'm getting stuff from this straight away, but it's you may have thought things have come to a standstill, okay? But this is saying you have travelled far in search of greater meaning and fulfillment. Having made such progress and learning valuable lessons, you want to continue your journey, but the road seems to have come to an end. Where do you go from here? The symbolic imagery on this card is set within a magical forest. It seems inviting, yet the way forward is not clear. No physical path exists, however there is a way forward. Between the trees is a symbol for eternal life, and to the right a symbol for healing and protection. This card is inviting you to move forward spiritually and offers you healing and protection along the way. Spirit and matter must now merge if true progress is to be made. Your rational mind must align with your heart. When heart and mind are both focused on the same goal, great things are possible. This is true spiritual alchemy. All you work towards can now be achieved. And the affirmation is, my heart and mind are in perfect alignment. My heart's desires and my thoughts are one. I am a spiritual being in a physical body. The journey ahead is filled with light. The light of my soul illuminates my path. I love how these fit in so much with what this is saying. And if we have a look, can we see there's two hearts here hidden deep, deep in the roots here, And like I say, that symbol for eternal life and protection is there. So as I said, we are clearing the way here, okay? So if you can't see a way ahead, you just need to start walking, And this is what this card is saying, Get real. Get real. Get out of your own way. This is what this is saying. Get real. Get out of your own way. Let go and start walking away. And once you do that, this hidden path will appear before you, okay? And once this path is there, then you give other people permission to walk through it as well. So you are not just serving yourself by doing this. You are serving other people as well, okay? Wow, I love them. I absolutely, absolutely love them. So if any of you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. Like I say, they are sort of booking up pretty quickly. But I really feel there's something, I always said this year is the year. Last year was a painful year. It was a lot of lessons. It was a lot of I don't know, crazy stuff. There was a lot of pain. It was like we were coming out of this cocoon. And this year is about us sorting stuff out and getting on our proper path, getting on the groove we're meant to be on. If you put a record on and it's not in the right groove, it jumps and it doesn't sound right. Once it goes into that right groove, that is when, it sort of, it plays smoothly, and that is when, you hear the music and you dance and you sing. And, there's a great quote. I was trying to remember it when I was looking at these, and it was something about when you step into your authentic self, you start to play and you start to dance and you start to sing and, and you start to smile more, and the frowns on your head, they soften, and people will notice this, and some people don't like it. But the thing is, you don't really care because you're being you, and that's the only way that I can describe it, but it's, sometimes it's not easy, but it's so, so worth it. So I hope that made sense. Please let me know if it did. I can't stop smiling with that card today, them cards today. I knew they were going to be deep, but not that deep. But have an absolutely fabulous, fabulous day, and have a little word with yourself, you know. Talk to yourself as if you are talking to your best friend, okay? And see what advice you would give them. If your best friend was saying, this is my life, blah, 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 what do I do about it? Give the same advice to yourself as what you would give to your best friend, you know, because you want your best friend to be happy, and you should want yourself to be happy too. Okay, so have an absolutely fabulous day. Sat Nam.